Hello, this is Susan. Today I'm going to show you something about the HTTP protocol. What on earth is HTTP and what is it used for and how is it working? Perhaps you will know the answers after my showing today. I will mainly focus on the two keys below, some common knowledge and the HTTP request and response messages. We surf the internet every day. Well, now many applications are running concurrently over the web, such as web browsing, email, file transfer, audio and video streaming, and so on. In order for proper communication to take place between a client and the server, their applications must agree on a specific application level protocol, such as HTTP, FTP, SMTP, and POP. Charlotte has introduced the SMTP to us in her knowledge share session. And I'm going to tell you something about HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's the network protocol used to deliver virtually all files and other data record resources on the Wide Web, whether they are HTML files, image files, query results, or anything else. So HTTP is used to transmit resources, not just files. Did anyone have a question on this page? Oh. Now I move to the next page. How is HTTP working? Whenever you issue a URL from your browser to get a web resource using HTTP, the browser will turn the URL into a request message and send it to the HTTP server. Then the HTTP server will interpret the request message and return you a response message, which is either the resource you requested or an error message. To mention about the URL, I want to introduce something on it. There are 4 paths in a URL. We can judge from this link. The first is its protocol. Here is HTTP. The protocol is the application level protocol used by the client and the server. And the second one is the host name. It's host here. It's the DNS domain name or IP address of the server. And the second is its port. It's the TCP port number that the server is listening for incoming requests from the client. And the last one is the path and the file name. It's the name and the location of the request resource under the server document-based directory. We can take this URL for example. Here, the communication protocol is HTTP. The host name is 3w.test101.com, and the port number was not specified in the URL. It will take on the default number 80. 80 is the default port number for the port, and the file and the path and file name for the resource to be located is index.html. It's the file location under the document directory. Okay. I'll move to next page. How is HTTP working? Oh, sorry. we're done with this page. Now we know that HTTP server request and response by sending messages to each other. Does anyone know what kind of form are the messages transmitted by? Where does it transmit by? Back to the HTTP working principle, we know that server request and response by sending messages to each other. So, does anyone know what kind of form are the messages transmitted by? A HTML code, or a chat, or an image, or the text, or others? Do you have any answers? You can guess. HTML code, chat, image, text. Which one do you think is the answer? Yeah, Charlotte said text. Yeah, text is the right answer. Yeah, the screen also said HTTP client and server communicated by sending text messages. This client sends a request message to server. The server in turn returns a response message. Here is a screenshot of the format of the request and response message. Because request and response messages format are very similar. Both messages consist of a message header and optional message body. They were separated by a blank line. We only talk about the message header today. So a message header consists of an initial line and 0 or more header lines. Let's go to initial line first. The initial line is different from the request than for the response. In a request message, the initial line is called the initial request line. It has 3 parts. Request method name, request URL, and HTTP version. The request method name is the method name request used for the HTTP request. And the request URL is the local path of the request resource. And the HTTP version stands for the versions of the HTTP being used. We can see a typical request line below. Here, get is the request method name of this request line, and its request URL is /path/2/file/index.html, and the HTTP version is http/1.0. And in response line, the initial line is called response line. We also call the status line because it has a data code in the syntax. It also has 3 parts. The first is HTTP version. It's the same meaning of it in initial request line. The second one, status code. Status code is the response code that gives the result of the request. And the reason phrase is the reason phrase describing the status code. Here is an example here. HTTP/1.0 is HTTP version. 200 is the status code of the response, and the reason OK is the reason explanation of the status code 200. OK. Any question on this? if no, we'll move to next. And another one is header lines. Header lines provide information about the question response or about the object sent in the message body. They are in the form below. Here is the two screenshots. One is for the HTTP request messenger, and the other is for the HTTP response messenger. We'll take HTTP request messenger for example. Here in the header, there is one request line, and there are 6 request headers. Not all request headers are listed here. These 6 are just a part of all the request headers. Okay. And the request header we'll go past one by one. The first is host, the header host. We talk about it in previous page. It's the domain name of the URL. And the second header, accept is the MIME type. And the client can use the accept header to tell the server the MIME types it can handle or it prefers. If the server has multiple versions for the document request, for example, if the server has an image of different versions like GIF, PNG, or JPEG, and if the client say it prefers image with GIF, then the server will send the client image with GIF format. And the third one, accept language. The client uses the accept language header to tell the server what languages it can handle or it prefers. If the server has multiple versions of the request document, maybe English, Chinese, or French, it can check the header to decide which version to return. The next one is accept encoding and user agent content lines. We will not talk much on this. If you are interested in other headers, you can do studies on them after today's sharing. I will give you 2 examples. I can give you an example by checking where can we see the request and response message. Where's the internet? Chrome. We can type Google, for example, and we'll first right-click, insert F12. It's under the network page, and thank you. And we click Enter key and check the. We can see the resources under the under this DNS domain is loading. Some of them are loading successful, and some of them are loading with other statute code. Then we can also find the English version after the statute code. Let's take this PNG for example. We can see its headers here. In this tab, we can see its request message is a get, and its status code is 200. Okay, and we can also see the request URL. Also, other request headers, different information about the request and response, request and response messages, and the information. Yeah. Go back to. Let's move to next page. In HTTP request method, there is in HTTP request initial request line, there is one request method mentioned. HTTP protocol defines a set of request messages. A client can use one of these request messages to send a request message to a HTTP server. Here is a list of all the methods used for HTTP request, and GET and POST are the most common used in our daily life. A GET is used to get a web resource from the server. I just gave you an example by getting the PNG resource from the google.com. And post is used to post date up to the server. I want to show you an example of HTTP request method of post method. Let me first start the server and under the server, under the folder 3W, there is one HTML file and one TXT file, and this HTML file we can open with Adobe. This is a post example. Once we click the button, we'll get the message from a.txt to post it to our page, and I'll type it in the URL HTTP. What's it? Localhost. HTML. We can see the HTML is loaded correctly, and now is the get method. And once we click the button, want to post the data from the .txt file. give you my where is did I close the page? Yeah, we can see the request method is post and many other information are also here, and the request URL it's the location of the TXT file we are asking request. Okay, the last one I want to stress is the response status code in the initial response line. Different response status codes will stand for different results, which is generated by the server to indicate the outcome of the request. The status code is a 3-digit number. Below is a list of the results of different start code. The most common C1 is to access, which means successful. The request was successfully received and should accept and served. And 4 access means client error. Means the request contains bad syntax or cannot be understood at all. And 5 access means server error. It means the server failed to fulfill apparent valid request. So going forward, if you surf the internet and find the resource cannot be loaded successfully, you can go to check the start code and the reason phrase of the request, and you will get the answer why the resource cannot be loaded. That's all of my sharing today. Do you have anything to ask? Any question?
I want a little question.
Please.
Just now you shared a.html page.
Yeah.
Here. The URL you can share. Yeah. Why?
Why you try localhost?
And why you use the localhost? Not the A directly to open the A page.
Yeah. Okay. It's I use a software to monitoring website, and we can see the code here. Use new server here. So
I thought you post the page on your local.
Yeah. It's I used a software to monitoring the and you can treat this as a online online URL.
It seems that it treats yourself's computer as a server.
Yeah.
You can you share the host location?
It's under. You mean this one?
If you want to post a page, you need
to use
挂笔方式，把你这个页面挂在你本地的那个新建一个页面嘛，就是把你本地这个页面挂出去。
对呀、
用你这个外环境。
啊，对对对，
这个你是怎么办？
就是想，就是这个软件可以。Yeah, yeah. It's a
Work, which you can use Node.js to run it, and you will have a web server on your computer.
yeah, yeah, and
Pretty much similar as Express, but this framework is much smaller.
Which is much smaller.
Yes, the one you're using.
Oh. Compared to which one? Oh, Fred.
Yes.
Okay, I know.
You use the
Anyone else? Any question? Other question? If no, that's all on my sharing. Thank you, everyone.
And this is Michelle, and today I want to share something about regular expression with you. And I suppose you all know something about it. So let's begin. First is introduction. A regular expression, often called a pattern, is an expression used to specify a set of strings required for a particular purpose. A simple way to specify a finite set of strings is to list its elements or members. I know you all have no words regular expression, so just let's go through it. Here are some tables about mental characters, which is the basic conceptions in regular expression. Since it's not direct feeling and not easy to understand this just by seeing these tables, I will introduce them in the website. And thanks to Udi to provide the powerful website. And you can see here is reference. We can take it as a tutorial of regular expression, and it's convenient. The first is you can see the explanations here and examples, so it's clear it's easy to learn. The first is dot. You can see it matches all the characters here. The explanations is match any character except line breaks. Line breaks includes line feed, 回车, and carriage return, 换行. So any character except line breaks, dot. It's match any, or let's skip it. The third is word, is backslash with uppercase W. It's equivalent to letters, no matter what uppercase or lowercase, and numbers and underline can see here. Can see it matches any characters except this special characters. It's word, and the backslash with uppercase W is just the opposite of the word. It means not the letters, not numbers, and not digitals. You can see it matches the rest. And the next is digital backslash with lowercase d. It's easy. It's just the numbers 0 to 9 and not digitals. It's web space. Can check. It matches any space. Not web space. Character set. It's square bracket 方括号. The square bracket means a set. It means it will match the characters in this square bracket. The A, E, I, O, U, it will all match. The next is the caret, 这个倒三角符号 caret, and it means not. Okay, you can see it matches any characters but not A, E, I, O, U. And the range, it's simple, it's just hyphen. Means it can match G to S. You can see the examples here. These are very basic conceptions. I hope you can remember this dot, word, digit, and white space. And the anchors, beginning, end. It's just can see it can match the very first W. From my knowledge, I guess it just can match the very first character in one line. If I put this, I can match the E in the third line too. But if I want match E, because there's no B in the very first character, so it won't match. So this beginning and end just means the very first character in one line and the last two character in one line. I can click it. You can see everything just in the last of the line. And it's what boundary. I can give example if I want make is happy. By PP can match. But if I add a what boundary, sorry. So it can't. It means before PP it can disappear any characters. And the how can I explain it? What boundary means the left of the PP can there's no characters, okay, and it's not what boundary. It escaped characters 转义字符 and it's simple. Just you can see the dot. You can see the dot. It means any character. But if you want to use what it is, just a dot, you may need to make it escaped. If you make just a dot, it will match any character. Okay, it's simple. I won't use more. And next are very important. It's caption group. Take it. HA. It takes HA as a group. I just delete the last. It's you can see the words in the black box. You can see group 1 is HA. Can you see? I can move into it. You can see group 1 HA, and if I need more, see group 2 is PP, and I can add more. And now it changed. Group 1 is HAPP, group 2 is HA, group 3 is PP. The order of the group depends on the left brackets the order of the left brackets. This is the first left bracket. So the whole string, this whole regular expression is group 1. And this is the second left bracket. So this is group 2. And this is group 3. And it's not difficult. And next is back reference. Match the results of previous capture group. You can see here, I give it. It just cites the group. It cites the group 1. You can see HAPP. This is the group 1 HAPP, and this is just the same as group 1. The second HAPP. If I need here 2, can someone tell me what strings should I add, and it can match? This is the first. The whole group is the first group, and this is the group 2, and the position just the group 2, and we need to put the group 2 into this position. So what characters should I put in this position?
Sure.
Yeah, the answer is HA. Thanks, Terry. The next I won't introduce the next. If you are interested, you can learn for yourself. And it's also important part. First is, I will introduce this first. It's quantify 量词. It means match the least time, and the right 3 means match the most time. It can match 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times.